The main message, if you hear nothing else for the rest of this episode, the main message that you've heard me say before, but I think it's worth repeating here, is to just go for it. You're closing off your chakras, you're closing off your energy centers because there is some fear, there's uncertainty. You're putting yourself down and telling yourself that it's not going to happen, you're not good enough. And this reading with these cards, you're being encouraged to stop that. Knock it off. The energy within you is limitless. And once you can understand that, and you know that any blockages that get created are really your own doing, that's when you step into your true power. The energy within you is truly limitless. And it's time for you to own how powerful and amazing you really are. This is the Energy Within podcast, helping you to embrace your weirdness, find the confidence to be your true self, and step fully into your soul's purpose. My name is Carrie Jokala. I am your host. I am a Reiki master teacher, a fitness instructor, a wife, a mom to 2 little boys, and this is episode 150. And I am so impressed with myself that I've gotten this far. This means about 3 years of consistently doing podcasting. Now, I wasn't super consistent in the very beginning, but it only took a few months to get myself on track. And ever since then, with I think 1, maybe 2 exceptions, I haven't missed a Wednesday. So thank you, first of all, for being here, whether you are brand new or you've been here from the beginning, or you're somewhat new, but you've gone back to the beginning, because I know I've had a lot of people who show up and you guys go back to the very beginning and listen to everything from the start. So thank you for that. Thank you to those of you who have shared and continue to share snippets and your insights from the podcast to help it grow. I am just so grateful to even have anyone listening. There are obviously a lot of podcasts out there, so thank you so much for being here for this one. And thank you for helping to spread the word. So I wanted to make this one as special as possible, and I'm hoping that it's at least going to be insightful. I don't know how special it is. It's just a solo episode. I don't have any major guests to bring on. I still have people that I dream about bringing on to the podcast. It just hasn't gotten to that point yet. But I do have a couple amazing interviews coming up, and one you'll hear soon is quite relevant to me right now. It is another woman, not Katie Lane, but another woman who has healed herself basically from back pain through things like Reiki, journaling, meditation, moving into all of this more spiritual energy body healing pathways. And I say that it's relevant to me because I have been fighting through some back pain the last couple of days, and I think I know where it's coming from energetically, so I'm working on that. But for that reason, I am also going to keep it a little bit short, hopefully. I say that now as I start recording. We'll find out how long it actually is when I'm done. But I have a couple things to share. And the next book that I've started reading is called The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. And he's the same person who wrote The Surrender Experiment. I think it's called The Surrender Experiment. I think I've called it a project before, but I think it's The Surrender Experiment that I finished reading a little while ago. And that story was super interesting, but it was really more of a personal story going through his journey, how he started and where it all ended up. And this one, The Untethered Soul, is more about helping the reader to move into a higher consciousness, a better awareness of the self and of what's going on and how to manage all of it. and I came across an interesting section. It says, consciousness is one of the great mysteries in life. Inner energy is another. It's actually a shame how little attention the Western world pays to the laws of inner energy. We study the energy outside and give great value to energy resources, but we ignore the energy within. So stop ignoring my podcast. No, obviously, if you're here, you're not ignoring the podcast. I thought that was kind of funny. But the name of my podcast aside, it is true, and I'm sure I was led to name the podcast The Energy Within for this very reason, that we need to honor and acknowledge the fact that we actually are limitless energy. We have a limitless supply of all types, all levels of energy. You can look at an example of, say you're in a down place, you haven't been feeling happy, you've been sad or depressed, things just aren't going your way, and you have no energy to do anything. But then you suddenly find out you win the lottery. How much energy do you instantly have? Instantly. Now, granted, something outside of you happened that helped to create that energy shift. However, it's your perception and interpretation of what happened that helps you to flip the switch. If you didn't think it was that big of a deal to win the lottery, if you still didn't care, your energy wouldn't change. You made an internal and likely unconscious decision to open up your energy channels, your chakras, at the moment you found out you won the lottery. And now you have boundless amounts of energy and you're raring to go. And it wasn't a gradual buildup, it was an instant switch. So that is your evidence that you do have control and the ability to control your energy levels. I am learning a little bit more about human design, and I've known for a couple years. I found out that I was a generator, and initially when reading all of the descriptions that I found the first time that I found out human design was a thing, I thought the generator honestly sounded the most boring, the least inspiring. And I'm like, why do I have to be a generator? Why can't I be a manifester or something like that? But learning a little bit more about it recently and just this last week, I'm actually very excited and honored now to be a generator. I learned that our aura actually draws people and things and whatever into us, which is interesting because I would have expected a manifestor to have that type of aura that draws everything in. But actually, a manifestor's aura pushes people out of the way because they're like making stuff happen. And I get that. That makes sense. Oh, I'm getting chills right now. But the generator, we actually are generating the life force energy of the planet. And so I feel quite honored now to be a generator. And it also makes sense why we need to, as generators especially, have boundaries in place. Because otherwise we're just drawing everything in and absorbing everything. And we need to be more choosy, I guess, more discerning in what we allow into our aura, into our energy field. And while that is true for everybody, when you are an empath, when you have this generator aura, you really need to be cautious and really remember that you are in charge of your energy. But that again extends to everybody. When we open or close our chakras, our energy centers, that's our conscious decision. It may have become unconscious, as in an instant response that we've programmed ourselves to have to certain things, certain people, events, colors, smells, whatever, but we don't have to allow that to happen. And I'm not very far into this book, The Untethered Soul, but so far, my understanding in this last section that I read is that it is so much better to remain open all the time. That doesn't mean allowing anyone and anything to be a drain on your energy without your permission. And it certainly does not mean pretending to be happy. Again, the same message. It doesn't mean pretending to be happy or filled with limitless physical energy when you're not. Never deny what's actually being felt or happening within you. But understanding that it is your choice what you feel, how long you feel it, how you process through it. And it's in the same vein as surrendering and letting go. Remaining open is an act of surrender, and that's what allows the flow to come in. That's what allows you to attract what you really want. There could be a whole discussion here because there's also masculine and feminine energy balance that needs to happen here, making sure that you have a secure and safe foundation that then allows the surrender and the flow to happen freely and without fear, without anxiety, without worry. So if there's something that you want to make happen, you need to take action. You can't just sit back on your couch and wait for it. That's the masculine energy, taking the action. But you also need to let go of the how and allow it to unfold the way it's meant to, trusting that if you can let go, it's actually going to unfold in ways that are so much better than you ever could have imagined. You don't know what's waiting for you on the other side of this surrender. It's way better than whatever you can currently dream up, no matter how amazing whatever you're dreaming up is. The main message, if you hear nothing else for the rest of this episode, the main message that you've heard me say before, but I think it's worth repeating here, is to just go for it. I do believe there is a time and a place for logic. I think that I am a very logical person. I'm a Virgo and I can be very analytical and a perfectionist, but I'm also obviously into the woo as well. So I like to think that I have a good balance. I'm still always working on it, of course, but I feel like I have a decent balance on it. And I've learned from personal experience, you can't overthink things. You get the idea. You don't want to be so rash that you do things that could end up setting you back or even maybe getting you in trouble or hurting somebody. But if you take too long, your brain starts to get in the way and starts to show you all the evidence that it thinks it has about why this won't be successful. It'll bring up evidence of times that you failed at either something similar or just something in general in the past. It'll bring up what other people have said to make you feel like you won't be successful or that your ideas aren't worth anything. And you don't want to let it get to that point. You hear all of the stories of super successful people, and so many of them start with them being told that it'll never work. This is a dumb idea. You shouldn't do this. Who are you to do this? This already exists. No one else is looking for more of whatever it is you're trying to do. But they rejected all of that and moved forward and did their thing. And not everybody has instant overnight success as a result of saying no to the naysayers. But it's more the consistency and the effort to keep going, to trust yourself, to trust your intuition, to trust that you are supported and guided and that you have this idea for a reason, you have this calling for a reason, especially if it's something you keep thinking about. That's your sign, that's your nudge. It keeps coming up for a reason. And you don't have to know what the entire path is going to look like. Let go and trust that it's going to unfold the way that it's supposed to. Have ideas, yes. Have a plan to a point. But don't get too attached to it. If it starts going another way, trust it. Or trust your feelings about it going the other way. Maybe it's not supposed to go that way, but that's a sign that you need to reevaluate something. You'll know. Trust that first nudge. That's what I've learned in this journey. Trust that first nudge. So I know I normally say this at the beginning. I didn't let you know yet, but I did pull some cards for you. And I got 4 from the Energy Oracle cards, and I got 3 from the Work Your Light deck. So the first card from the Energy deck is Adjacent Possibilities. Many unconsidered options. Sometimes the force of habit keeps you stuck and unaware of potentially healthier and happier choices at hand. Yet every moment gives you the option to open a different door and take a different course, whether it's in your thoughts, behaviors, or major life decisions. This card is here to tell you that you have many options and it's time to take a wider look at things. As you consider the many life choices available, you'll feel more and more empowered and motivated to make the decisions that bring happiness, strength, and forward motion. Follow these nudges. We also got the Happy Family card. And my interpretation of this card, coming up in this reading, is that if you open up to these possibilities, if you start to take the next step, you step into the direction that your heart and your soul are calling you to, there is so much more joy to be experienced. And it's going to spread to your family and your close friends because you're going to be experiencing that. So you're just naturally going to be sharing that with other people. They're going to be drawn to you. They're going to feel that same energy. And then we got the Thinking Man reversed. So this is simply a nudge here to allow yourself to grow and to change. That you might not be acting in your own best interest right now by ignoring the call on your heart. In the book, it says here, you may be destined to be a therapist, teacher, writer, publisher, psychic, or healer of some sort. Your soul longs to serve in this capacity, whether professionally or just in your personal life, but something seems to be blocking your way. And you know what's blocking your way? You. You're closing off your chakras, you're closing off your energy centers because there's some fear, there's uncertainty. You're putting yourself down and telling yourself that it's not going to happen, you're not good enough. And this reading with these cards, you're being encouraged to stop that. Knock it off. You can't build confidence by thinking about building confidence. You build confidence in what you want to do by doing it. And that said, we also got the action card, energizing effort, willingness to work. Now is the time for more aggressive forward movement. This is me. This isn't the book. Just freaking go already. Do something. This card indicates that you are on the right track, but your determined efforts must increase. The white horse, there's 2 horses on this card, a white horse and a black horse. The white horse is inner action of spirit and thought. The black is the outer work that still needs to be done. So continue taking action and trust your intuition. In time, you'll break through and see the results you've been working so hard to create. It's all on the horizon. You just have to keep going. Then from the Work Your Light deck, we got Inner Temple, Devotion, Tune into the portal of your heart. All the answers to all the questions that you seek are waiting for you in the portal of your heart. But you cannot hear them unless you carve out time each day to listen. Your soul is yearning for a deeper relationship with you, and so the more time you spend with it and show up to it, the more clearly it will guide you. If you are questioning your career or life path, your guides want you to turn your focus toward devotion and this prayer. Please use me in a way that delights my mind, body, and soul. May my life be one big moving prayer. Get quiet. Meditate more. Journal more. Sing, dance, chant, do whatever feels natural to help you get out of your mind and into your heart, into your soul. Your heart is not deceitful. Your heart is where your passions and your desires live. It's how your soul nudges you. It's how your soul guides you to what you're here to do. So learn to trust it. It's the source of self-love and love for others. So you know if you're tuning into your heart, you're getting messages that get filtered through love. We also got Trust Your Path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? And I'm not even going to read the book for this one, because the spoiler alert on this one is that you are always supported. Always. You just need to learn how to listen. And we also got Anna, Grandmother of Jesus, Seeding the Light, Laying Foundations, Divine Plan. Anna represents the quiet dedication that is sometimes required to live a life of service. She teaches us that we all have a part to play in the divine plan. It doesn't have to be on the world stage to be significant. One person's part is not worthier than another. We each have within us a seed of light that we incarnated to share. Anna is gathering us all to remember and surrender to our part of the plan. There is a plan for you. You have a purpose, and it's knocking. It wants you to answer. You feel it in your heart. You feel this in your soul, and you know you're being led to do something big. And it doesn't have to be, like the book description said, it doesn't have to be something so big that the entire world finds out who you are. Just something that's bigger than you. We ascend by living out our life purpose, and we live out our life purpose by sharing our gifts with other people, by spreading the light, by being the light, by being and showing and demonstrating hope and creativity and love. The energy within you is limitless. And once you can understand that, and you know that any blockages that get created are really your own doing, that's when you step into your true power. And not power as in power over anybody or anything else, but just knowing that you create what you want for yourself. So get in alignment with what you really want. Do you want to be closed off? Do you want to have these blockages? It's okay to have help in removing them, but know that you can also get rid of them yourself, because you were the one who put them there in the first place. You can do this. The energy within you is truly limitless, and it's time for you to own how powerful and amazing you really are. I hope this was helpful. I hope you found this inspiring. If you did, please share it. Make sure you tag me on social media when you do. Let me know what your favorite part was, what stuck out to you. Make sure you jump inside the Energy Within Facebook group. And I'm going to give you 2 options here. While much of my message today was a reminder that you are in control, you can do this, it's also okay to ask for help, because sometimes we can truly be too close to something to be able to effectively, objectively do something about it. Even if we're getting the right messages, we might be rejecting them. So if you need that help, I would love to be there for you. You can come do a Reiki session or even an Akashic Records session. You can find the links for those in the show notes. You can go right to my website. And it's not open currently, but I will continue running more sessions of Reiki 1 to teach you the self-healing and self-confidence techniques so that you really, truly can feel confident in doing this for yourself. Energy healing, higher consciousness, getting messages, tapping into intuitive gifts, all of these things are not reserved for just a few people. We all have these abilities. And I want to make sure that you know that, and that you have the opportunity and the space to develop those skills, to open yourself back up. So reach out to me if you're interested in either one of those. I don't have a wait list or anything for the next round because I don't have a specific start date or anything. But if you're interested, feel free to let me know, and I'll make sure that I notify you as soon as the next round is going to run. Thank you so much, as always, for being here, and I'll see you next time.